welcome to your favorite tax enlightenment program, Tax Insight Monday, the program where we bring you up to speed on every tax-related issue in Anambra State. And my name is Emmett Blaise Pastor. Today we're going to talk about everything concerning personal income tax. And with me in the studio, I have a veteran in tax administration. He is a chartered accountant, a chartered tax practitioner, a member of the Chartered Institute of Taxation, CITA, is no other than our very own Mr. Herbert Ofomata. Okay, Mr. Ofomata, we are welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm sure our viewers will be itching to get informed on everything about personal income tax. So,
okay,
let's begin. Give us an insight on what direct assessment means in relation to personal income tax.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, let me start by saying it this way. Personal income tax is direct assessment tax is subsumed into personal income tax. Personal income tax, as the name suggests, is taxes that are paid by the persons, that's natural persons, individuals.
Per head.
Yes, per head, because company income tax, company are also persons, but in the eyes of the law, we call them artificial persons. But now we're talking about personalities as human beings. So personal income tax relates to the payment of income tax by human beings, by persons. Are we together?
Yes.
So it's a personal thing. That's why it's called personal income tax. Then direct assessment tax is subsumed, is part of personal income tax. Because personal income tax per se is a broad categorization of tax that are paid by people that are working, that are workers. Their own is charged under PAYE. PAYE is a form of personal income tax as well.
Yes.
But direct assessment tax are paid by people that are into business or professionals. They understand, individuals that are not working. Anybody that is self-employed or an entrepreneur pays personal income tax. Why pays direct assessment tax as personal income. Why somebody that is working, any salary earner, pays PAYE as also personal income tax. Are we together?
Yes. In my little knowledge of taxation, I know that PAYE is being remitted by the companies.
Yes. Every employer of labor, that is the position of the law. Every employer of labor, that is, if you have people that are in your employment that are working for you, automatically you are an agent of the government for the purpose of deducting taxes from their salaries and remitting to the government before you now give them their net, the one they will go home with. If you don't deduct it and remit to government, you are liable to, you have committed an offense.
Means you are not compliant.
You are not compliant.
Okay, that brings me to our next question. I wanted to ask you who are eligible, but you've touched some part of it. So what is the template being used to determine the amount of rate that the taxpayer has to pay?
Okay, now we're talking about direct assessment tax. Let me also give these features. Direct assessment tax, because it is a form of personal income tax paid by individuals that are in business, is paid per annum. That's every year. You can contrast it down now with PAYE taxes that are deducted and paid every month before salary is paid. Now, direct assessment tax is payable by people that are doing business or professionals. So it's done once per annum. So you have to leave the person, and government, it runs with the government fiscal year, that is from January to December every year. So the person has to do business from January to December. At the close of books of business in December, the next year now, probably from January the following year, now the person can look at the activities of the past year and say from January to December, I have done trading, what so and so, what so and so. Now the person has to prepare what we call the financial statement of account of the business done in the past. We are now in 2024. Anybody that you are assessing for personal income tax or direct assessment tax is related to the activities carried on from January 1 to 31st December 2023 in retrospect. You understand? Because the year has wound up and you have seen your transaction from beginning to the end. Now you prepare your financials. This is, if your direct assessment tax is either you are a trader or you're providing services. For instance, a medical doctor that runs a clinic, a pharmacist that has a pharmacy shop, or a lawyer that has a chamber, or even an accountant that. So it can be either be services or you are into buying and selling, like people that run supermarket or in the open market. So you now check, this is my record, these are my sales, these are my purchases. So you just do the little arithmetic of yes, this is the total sales from January to December, less purchases. You have what we call gross profit before you don't charge overhead, as in rent, salaries of staff and all that, electricity. Then you come to what we call net profit. It is upon that net profit that the taxman is looking at. Then that your net profit, we take it and put it into what we call the tax calculator. Tax calculator is provided by Federal Ministry of Finance. You understand? Who supervises the activities of Joint Tax Board, even FIRS.
Is it the same generally?
Yes. Tax calculator is a standard machine to compute our tax. If you're in Sokoto, if you're in Rivers or Cross River, it's the same. To the extent that if you earn the same amount of income, let me say 1 million naira is your net profit. Once you put it in tax calculator, it will now produce the amount of tax that you're going to pay. So it doesn't matter whether you're in Sokoto, whether you're in Lagos, Anambra, or Kaduna. It's a standard practice. So that is the template. I have to do this explanation to drive it down to your question. You're asking me whether there is a template for the calculation of personal income tax or direct assessment tax. And once that amount is thrown out as tax, you are now expected to go and pay it. Because that's
a detailed explanation.
Yes,
That brings me to, I'm aware there's what we call filing of annual taxes.
Okay.
In relation to your explanation.
Yes.
Tell our viewers about it.
Okay, thank you very much. Filing of annual tax return is provided by the tax law. And what does that mean? It simply means going to the tax office, or what we call tax authority. Going is in quotes. You can stay in your house, can log in online, but you're going to submit the activities of your transaction for the immediate past year. We are in 2024, I say this again, we are now talking about 2023 transactions. Why it is very, very necessary and expedient that we file annual tax return is so that the tax authority will know that you're still existing. Do you understand? Beyond calculating your tax and then charging you to pay tax, they also know that you're still alive and you're still doing business. Because if you don't do it, the tendency is that the tax authority will say that, oh, this man is no more in business, or that you are trying to evade tax. Do you understand? So that is, and this is a very, very simple process. Once you log in, a whole lot of tax, Internal Revenue Services, even FIRS, we do this online with our phone, with our computer, at the comfort of our offices or even homes. You log in, get to their site, and then complete the little questions or few questions that they will ask, and then you click on submit. There you are, you have filed your annual return. But if you fail to do it, you are liable to a penalty according to the tax law. For personal income tax, at the turn of the new year, from January 1 to 31st March of the following year, That is when you are allowed by the tax law to file your tax return. But for corporate bodies like limited liability outfit, it's from January 1 to 31st January. If you don't file it, there's a penalty to that spelled out in the tax law.
Well, we've heard it from the horse's mouth. I believe you're getting, right informed about personal income tax. In a bid to transform or transform the tax landscape of Anambra State, I'm aware that ARS as an agency under the chairmanship of Dr. Greg Ezido is introducing so many initiatives, for easier tax collection and compliance. So my question is this: is there any technology in place, that enables a taxpayer to, from the comfort of their home, to kind of file in their tax return or even pay their taxes at the comfort of their home?
Okay.
Is it possible?
Yeah. Thank you very much. As you rightly said, Internal Revenue Service has come of age. We are reforming, we are transforming on daily basis. Let me not even say on yearly basis. Dr. Greg, when he came on board, he brought in a lot of initiatives that have made payment of tax, even assessment, so simple. Do you understand?
Yes.
So we are fully automated. Our services can be consummated from any part of the world.
That's good.
From even generating your own tax ID, what we call as SIN, to the payment of tax. You can do it from the comfort of your offices or your homes with your smartphones or laptop. You can do that. So we start with the assessment, just like we have said before. You need to enroll by getting a tax ID. If you don't have tax ID, you don't have any space or any place in our platform. So the starting point is to enroll and get that tax ID. You can do that from the comfort of your home, or you can visit any of our tax offices in the 21 local governments and many more business centers across Anambra State. If you cannot do it yourself, people are ready to help you to do that. Once you generate the number, the next thing now is assessment. And before we can carry out assessment, we need to know what you're doing, what line of business you are into. Are you a professional? Maybe a lawyer, accountant, doctor, pharmacist, engineer, and so on. Are you a trader? So all these things will have categorization, so that once you fall into your category proper, assessment will be done. You can visit our offices like we said. You have to declare what you do, because tax is a function of income. It is the income that you declare that you're going to pay tax upon. I have always also encountered people that are asking, if I don't do anything, how much do I pay as tax? I'll be quick to tell them that tax is a function of income. If you don't do anything, you don't earn any income, you don't pay tax. Do you understand? But you have to prove to us beyond reasonable doubt that you're not doing anything.
Okay. At this junction, we'll go on a quick break. When we return, we'll continue on that segment. Stay with us. Okay, welcome back to the program, Tax Inside Monday. Do well to subscribe on our YouTube channel displayed on the screen. Like, share, and comment. Ask questions on the topic for discussion. Okay, and with me in the studio have been Mr. Herbert Ofomata, Head Direct Assessment, Anambra Internal, and we'll be talking about personal income tax. Mr. Ofomata, is there any exemptions to personal income tax?
Well, I'm sure that to every rule there must be an exception. But what government is looking at globally is to make sure that once you are earning income, once you are an income earner, you must pay tax, no matter how little. Now, talking about what looks like exemption per se is there's what we call the ecclesiastical bodies, that is the churches,
Religious body.
religious bodies. Churches don't pay taxes strictly on income made by the churches, the Orthodox churches and Pentecostal churches. Do you understand? But whenever the churches go into business venture, because we have a lot of them selling books, a lot of them have schools, a lot of them have even supermarkets and companies producing pure water and all that, sachet water. If you go into business, so whenever churches go into business venture, whatever the profit they make from those business ventures, they are going to pay taxes on them. And then if those staff that are engaged by ventures owned by by churches like schools, manufacturing businesses and all those staff, the salaries and income they get from those transactions, they're supposed to pay tax. But the clergy, maybe the bishop, the priests, the reverend fathers, because if you look at it globally, those people, they don't own salary. Churches just provide for them. Churches give them accommodation, feed them, transport them, so they don't earn income. That's what it means. So they don't pay taxes.
Ordinarily, they are supposed to be paying tax.
No, I mean that's the position of the tax law. If the tax authority proves that they are earning salary, because I know some teachers in higher institutions who are reverend fathers. Yeah. There are full-time pastors that earn salaries. The churches deduct their salaries and remit to government. I have evidence of that. Yes. A lot of them, especially all these Pentecostal churches. Full-time pastors, they pay them salary, so they deduct their taxes and stuff and remit to government.
Yeah. So, when is the due date for a newly registered business to come to tax authority deciding them?
Because our focus is on individuals, some people will come and tell you that they started business last year or last month or whatever. We are not looking at it. We are looking at you as individual. When did you start engaging in economic activity? If you start work, you're supposed to be paying taxes on that payee. If you start business, once you trade for 1 year, do you understand? The next year you should get involved with the tax authorities to do assessment for you so that you can pay your tax.
Is there any room for the taxpayer to say, okay, I don't have a certain amount of rates that I'm being assessed, for me to pay, let me pay instrumental.
Yes. There's also once you do a proper assessment, you are established the amount of tax to be paid. You discuss and then the taxpayer will agree. Yes, the law makes provision for about 2-3 maximum 3 installments.
Wow.
And it must be properly agreed and documented that at so and so date you're going to pay this much, at so and so date you're going to pay this much. Once the person follows that and then pays fully, you can now give the person either tax clearance certificate or tax receipt. So there is a provision for that.
Okay. So, if the taxpayer is being assessed, right, and he or she pays, how long does it take turnaround time for he or she to get the taxpayer?
I said before that we are fully automated. It's a matter of minutes. Because you can pay once you pay like by 12 noon, and they alert us, show us evidence. Maybe you send evidence across, or you even call us on phone and say that you have paid. We'll check your number, your tax ID. Once we see the money in your account, the next minute. So within 5 minutes, it is done. Yeah.
That's very fantastic.
Yeah.
I know there are challenges everything will be like.
Yeah. In the course of doing our work on daily basis, there are challenges, especially with respect to the processing of the transactions. You know, our services and activities are internet based. So sometimes there will be no network. Network in the sense that if you're using a service provider like MTN, Glo, you know, sometimes they will go off the air and then the system will not be connecting. We also have an issue of power supply challenges, but we try to overcome and manage these things as much as possible. In the area of power supply, we use alternative power supply like solar as well as generator to augment to make sure that we service our taxpayers very well. But in terms of service providers, like sometimes you enter into the bank to consummate the transaction and there will be no network. So once it is coming from a service provider, there is little or nothing you can do other than to manage and wait for them whenever they get up again. So these are a few challenges that we have, and we are working hard to overcome them.
And the tax we have to pay, yes.
Yes. For all you must know, you know, tax responsibility, tax is a civic responsibility, and that is why it is enshrined in the Constitution. So it is also a fundamental human right of every citizen to pay tax. If you violate it, if you earn income and you dodge payment of tax, the tax authority can take you to court and then you end up in jail. It has happened. In fact, the easiest way to jail a person, even in developed world, is when you catch the person evading tax.
Yeah, because the other time a person Donald Trump
Yes, he has me a lot of questions about his tax payment activities. So government is very, very serious about that because it is the primary source of income to government. I mean, tax revenue is the primary source of income to the government. So if you deny government from getting that income that you're contributing to the coffers of government, government can jail you through a normal process.
You are, I'm sure you may begin to be informed as well educated on everything about personal income. So this is very, very important program. Tax is at Monday. My name is and then they start me as Mr. Herbert Ofomata, the head direct assessment. They are